Springsteen and Growing Up off of Asbury Park album. Great. They make you feel good, Springsteen, doesn't he?
He's a joy. He's an absolute joy. Rockbusters.
This is what they're all reading and writing about.
Absolutely. Before you get the clues, let me just remind you of the prizes you're playing for. We've got the Manic Street Preachers' Greatest Hits on DVD. We've got the film Human Traffic on DVD. We've got the Best Air Guitar Album 2 on CD. Groove Armada's... Is this their current album?
Yeah.
I guess it's not selling very well. They're still trying to promote that. You can have that as well. If you are a fan of the Ford Fiesta TV ad, of the Vodafone TV adverts, you will love the...
You didn't think you liked indie? Well, you do.
Exactly, and that's got Feeder and Travis and Badly Drawn Boy and all sorts on there. Plus, my own copy, $6.99 it cost me, The Pelican Brief, starring Julia Roberts and Denzel Washington. If you've not seen that, panned and scanned on VHS. So what are the clues?
Do you know what a pelican, I read the other day, that has to turn its head upside down to eat?
Give us the clues.
So, Rockbusters...
Well, let me just explain. A bird has a gullet, and that's esophagus and a gullet is all in one thing. It hasn't got peristalsis, which is the movement that we have that can make food. So a bird can only rely on gravity.
Yeah.
So it has to have its head up and has to shake. It can't eat.
You were going to say that, weren't you, Carl?
Yeah. So, Rockbusters, you mentioned it earlier, one of last week's was, it's a cryptic clue and then some initials. I was in Texas, I fell in a puddle on my knees got wet, WH, Wet Knee Houston. Yeah. That's the sort of thing we can...
Use of the word knee twice there in the cryptic clue and in the final
and the word
answer.
Wet, I think you're right.
Yeah, which is wit. Yeah. So fine, good.
So, there's 3 of them. It's email only, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Sure.
Load of stuff to win. Here they go. Right, the first one.
I'm writing these down. Go on.
Make a note of them.
The fella has only got one badge left.
The fella has only got one badge left. Yeah. What are the initials?
That's just E.
Just E? Oh, just E.
Just E. The fella has only got one badge left.
This is either a solo artist or a band.
Yeah. Second one. The unmarried lady is a friend I eat out with.
Say that again?
The unmarried lady is a friend I eat out with.
The unmarried lady is a friend I eat out with.
Yeah.
What's the initial?
MD.
MD.
MD. And finally, I really love that woman. I love everything she does. That's M. Now,
give us that one again.
I really love that woman. I love everything she does.
And that's...
Right. M.
I know, I've got that one.
Right.
Okay. That's great, it's great. That's lovely.
So,
that's great.
I think the second and third one's quite easy. First one is a killer.
Is it tricky?
Yeah, it's a tricky one. So, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk, and we pick a winner out at about 1:45 or something like that?
2:45, yeah, absolutely.
No, 2:45, what am I talking about?
2:45.
Yeah. So there you go.
That's dynamite stuff, well done, Carl.
Excellent.
More educating Ricky next.
Yeah. So, the first one was... The fella's only got one badge left.
I have no idea.
The initial was E.
Go on.
Will I get out the answer now?
Yeah, give the answer, yeah.
I think you should.
That was his last sticker. Yeah?
Elastica, the band Elastica. I'm not
doesn't
sure.
work.
No,
doesn't work.
The word sticker and a badge are not interchangeable.
And it's not his last sticker, it's Elastica.
Yeah, but like Elastica. So someone's got it.
Oh, so say a different word and it works. Oh, so if the band is Elastica, then it works. God, if only Justin would have named it different. If she'd have just gone, let's call it Elastica, then we'd have, yeah.
Second one.
What was the clue?
The unmarried lady is a friend I eat out with.
Go on.
That's Miss Dynamite.
Miss Dynamite.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, but it's been running for 4 weeks. We've done the obvious ones.
Doesn't work. Doesn't work.
Miss Dynamite.
Again, if she'd have called herself Miss Dynamite, it would work. She didn't. See, what's happening is pop stars are letting you down by naming themselves incorrectly for your clues. Those don't work. They don't count.
And the last one, I really love that woman. I love everything she does. That was M.
Yeah.
That was Madonna.
Yeah, Madonna. I'm going to give you that. That worked, yeah. Right, that's the end of that feature, until you can get ones that work. Okay, so you won't hear any more of that, because it's rubbish.
And you know, like say with the weather being hot and stuff, a lot of insects knocking about.
Right.
So I've just been watching them.
So while we've been filming, you've been watching insects.
Yeah, just seeing, because everybody knows insects are out there, but no one's keeping an eye on them.
What are they up to? What are you worried about?
Loads at Steve, you wouldn't be laughing like that if you'd watch them, because they do some weird stuff and that, is what I mean.
What sort of stuff? Any examples?
I saw a bee have a heart attack.
You saw a bee have a heart attack.
Yeah.
How were you sure it was a heart attack?
Because what happened, I'd been
Did it clutch its chest with all 6 legs?
No,
Were there some other little bee paramedics?
No, I'd just been out in the park anyway, just looking at, caterpillars knocking about, butterflies and stuff, so I was sort of aware.
So when Suzanne goes to work, she goes, Carl, don't you waste the day. I want you to do some constructive stuff.
But the thing is, so I'd been in the park and I was aware of the insects that are around us more than, like, most of the time. And I come out of the park, just crossing, like, sort of a busy road and what have you, and I saw this bee to the right of me, sort of in the air, and it was a big one, and I was a bit like, oh, let's watch that. And it just fell. It fell from the air in front of me, and it was on the pavement, and I thought, oh, what's going on here? And I looked at it for a bit, and it was really still, gave it a little kick, just to see if there was any movement. Nothing. Stone, sort of, what's the saying? Stone cold dead.
Yeah! Stone cold bee dead.
So,
yeah.
that
I like the fact that this bee suddenly saw Carl and had a heart attack.
Yeah.
It'd never seen anything that round before.
Yeah.
It just thought, it had approached him because he thought it was a sunflower.
My God, it's a giant walking orange. Every dream has come true.
No, but it just summed up life for me. I thought that's like us, isn't it? At the end of the day, they have heart attacks, stress.
You put it down to stress, do you?
Well, it's in London, isn't it? Everything has stresses from living here.
And they are bald, aren't they? They've got fur all over, but they lose the...
I'm always overweight.
It was a fat, bald bee. Oh.
So what did you? It fell to the floor, and you instantly just kicked it. You didn't attempt
No,
to
I waited
revive
a second and just looked at it to see if there was any, leg movement or wing, and there was nothing. And then when I sort of kicked it, it was sort of hard. It had hardened already. It's just
Rigor mortis had
had set in.
Did it put you in a bad mood for the day? Because I know things like that can just send you over the edge for the day.
Death and that does a bit. Suzanne doesn't like me talking about death.
What riveting conversations do you come up with?
No, just things like one of our mates has had a baby recently, and I just was saying, oh, when that's sort of our age, we'll nearly be dead.
Think of that.
That's the first thing he says, is a new life brought into the world.
I know.
But when he's our age, we'll be dead.
Yeah.
No, it's
Maybe
weird.
they'll let you do the speech at the christening.
Well, yeah, I've been watching loads of stuff. I've been watching ants. You mentioned ants. I've had a lot of moths in the house. They're sort of sad.
I mean, you say it like it was a garden party.
Yeah, well, but all I'm saying is I look at more about what its life is like. Because if you watch something long enough, is what I'm saying, you can see that it's a bit clueless. It's the same way about ants, or, they're hard workers and all that. I watch one, it's going back and forth all the time. They go one way and then they stop and go the other way. They try to look busy in front of the mates. But if you watch one long enough, it's back and forwards, and it's like it's done nothing there.
I'm going to carry this twig back and forth until I can knock off at 4.
There's a lot of that going on.
Is there?
Because there's not. There's none of that going on.
There is. No, like I say, the moth. Depressing little sort of thing.
Why is it depressing?
It hasn't got eyes, has it? You just look at it, it doesn't know what's going on. I just don't... I think if you haven't got eyes, you shouldn't have wings.
That's a rule. If we could put that into practice, please.
That's a great rule. That's a fantastic rule, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you haven't got eyes, you shouldn't have wings. Ah.
When you see them in films, they're running about and that, and everybody likes an octopus. But this one that's on it was your fault, really, because you told me about that frog that's going about killing people.
No, I didn't say that.
So I looked it up on the internet at, like, other creatures and stuff.
.com.
And there's some octopus that's in the sea. And what it does, you don't even have to, like, threaten it. It just spits in the water. And if that stuff gets on you, does you in.
Again,
So in a way it's good knowledge, because I don't go in the sea anyway because it's full of stuff like that, but that's just reassured me that I'm doing the right thing. If they're knocking about just gozzing everywhere, you don't even have to be near one, you don't even know if it's been spitting and stuff. It can kill you. it just seems unfair. I haven't harmed it. I haven't gone near it. Why is it getting annoyed with me? Doesn't seem right. So that's where a knowledge has not helped that octopus out. Because now, when you eat them, I just think, yeah, have another one. Do you know what I mean? Get rid of them.
Another conversation with himself. Another conversation with himself. Okay, Carl, I'm just going to throw an animal at you. Tell me how weird it is, what bits annoy you, how you change it, okay? A crab.
How would I change it?
Yeah. Does it annoy you? Do you think it's weird?
They are weird. But they're at that size where they can get away with it.
Yeah, it suits them. Okay, good.
Would I change anything? In a way, you know, what you're saying about things not working, he can't walk forwards. So why hasn't something happened? Why haven't they said, you know what, these arms are too clumsy. We need to have them so they can slot away easier, and we can pull them out when we need them, instead of clumping around with them. Because they do struggle. You see them struggling with their arms. Yet they're still here, they're still doing that, they're still designed that way.
What's the weirdest animal? So you think the octopus is the weirdest animal on Earth?
Yeah.
Why is it any weirder than a dog?
Because it couldn't be further away from us. A dog has got human eyes. If a jellyfish had a pair of eyes like ours, I probably wouldn't worry about him that much. But like I said to you, it's that way that they haven't got eyes, they're floating about. I can handle some fish, they look like they've got eyes, you can make eye-to-eye contact with them. A jellyfish, what are you looking at? It's a snidey thing, like I've said to you. You can see a lot in eyes. Do you know what I mean? You say, don't trust him. Why? It's his eyes. Jellyfish haven't even got any, and I don't trust them. In terms of design and everything, and if you lined everything up, say if I'd come from another planet, and everything was lined up in a row, and they said, right, we're going to give you a crash course in what's knocking about on this planet. Yeah. And you go, right, go on then. And you go, this is man, here's woman, here's a dog, here's a cat, here's an octopus, here's a... I go, hang on a minute, what is this? Say if everything was at the same size as us, what would be the best thing to be? Say like a tarantula.
Yeah.
And a tiger. What would happen there?
So a 15-stone tiger versus a 15-stone tarantula?
Yeah.
Well, I'd imagine a 15-stone tarantula.
Right, so it's just weird, that, innit? It's a good job that they're small. Yet things are getting bigger because we're messing with the world.
But it's a ridiculous thing to say, isn't it? Because what would it eat? 15 stone. The biggest you'll find is like a foot-long beetle or something like
It's big though, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's about as big as they get.
He's
I wouldn't worry about it.
Again, based on nothing, he queries you.
But it's like fish, innit? How they say about a goldfish.
Yeah.
That thing about a woman who went on holiday and stuck it in a bath. She came back, it was 7 foot.
Right, that didn't happen.
No, that's a well-known thing about
No, it's
goldfish.
not a well-known thing.
What?
I'll tell you why. Because a fish will only grow to its surroundings anyway. So...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You have to put it in a bigger tank.
Yeah, in a bath.
No, a 7-foot fish in a bath, it just fit the bath exactly, did it?
When she got back off holiday...
Don't talk shit.
It's
what was it
well-known-
eating? What was it eating?
How long was she gone for? 2 million years?
Yeah. She went to Mars and that.
Ted, you're not going to believe this. Come up here.
How many fish do you see that have naturally died? It's always been caught by a man or a shark's at it. You don't just see dead fish washed up, do you?
Well, most things that don't die of old age.
Yeah, that's weird though, isn't it?
Well, no, because it's a... You know, it's a jungle out there.
No, worse than the sea. The sea is like full of... you've got an enemy round every rock.
I love it! I love it! I love it's like a wall into crabs
Exactly.
and young squid. It's like the policeman that comes into your school.
Yeah. Carl, have you ever seen the programme Inside the Actors Studio?
No.
James Lipton interviews famous actors and gets words of advice about, how they work and how they act. But at the end, he always asks a series of questions which is based on a French
series of questions that a guy called Bruno Pivot used to give people when he interviewed them. So I'm going to ask you some of these questions. Just interesting to see what your response is. And, you know, answer them quickly. You don't have to think about them too much. What is your favourite curse word?
I don't think I've got one. Knobhead. That sums everything up, and I think it's...
But you wouldn't call your nan a knobhead, would you? What would you call a nan?
Well, knobhead's alright, isn't it? Because she sort of gets it. It's one of them things that everybody understands, but it's not too offensive.
Right.
What a knobhead.
What would you do, though, if you were swimming, right? It was a nice little thing, you're on holiday, right? And there's this octopus there, and you're going around, right? And you just see it start spitting at you. Poison. What would you say to it?
Well, it's too late then, isn't it? And I'd kick it. And I'd say, knobhead. I would, but what's the point? What's the point in getting annoyed now? Because it's done its stuff, hasn't it?
He's kicking and calling it a knobhead under the water. What is this octopus thinking? Oh, God. Oh, okay, you fucking eight-legged shit.
I'm not bothered. I don't know what you're saying.
Fucking cunt of a mollusk.
I'll just spit at you again. It's not bothered.
You slimy little fucking boneless wanker.
This is why the face
Are you
is
still
good.
talking to the octopus?
07 distractions, very nice. Yes, I approve of that, Carl. Good choice there. Now, Steve.
Yes.
Carl came round to my flat. And it was Tuesday night, wasn't it?
Nice place.
Now, thanks. Now, last week after the show, I think you guys were, in the time you were in the toilet, like, Carl got out the lottery, ticket that he'd bought. He went, I'm feeling really confident tonight. He was going, I laughed. He went, no, seriously. He said, look at the numbers. And I looked at them, and I think they were 4, 6, 8, 20, 36, 48, weren't they? He was going, I just got a feeling about those. I went, sure. He went, although, you know, my girlfriend said that, you know, if I won the lottery, we'd probably split up because we like such different things, meaning she likes to travel and he doesn't. And so he said, so what I said was, well, if I win, then I won't tell you. I'll just treat you a little bit more. Brilliant.
That's brilliant logic.
That is great. Anyway.
I'll look after her.
Oh, I imagine you take care of her, yeah. Yeah, you're a good guy. How would you do it then? You just sneak little gifts in, slowly over many years?
Yeah.
You don't think she'd rumble, the fact that you, like, don't work anymore and drive a Lamborghini?
Well, I'd still do this, I think.
What, just, like, as a kind of beard, as a cover story?
Yeah, just...
So you'd pretend to come to work, but maybe off partying and stuff in the daytime?
Yeah.
Clever.
Now, he didn't win.
Okay.
I phoned him up Saturday night, he went one number. One number. I think it was 8, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, there was a lot of 8s on my piece of paper, wasn't there? So I think it was either an 8 or an 18 or a 48.
And he went, and he was disappointed. He said, waste of time. I went, well, he said, no, waste of time. He said, I've worked it out. I went, go on. He went, there are 26 letters in the alphabet. I went, yeah. He went, think how many words you can make out of them. He went, there are 48 numbers on the lottery. I went, yeah, 60 million to 1. He went, yeah. Not worth it.
I looked into that in the week, right? And there's even less letters in the Welsh alphabet. They've only got 20, and yet they've got loads of words as well. So even 20, the chances, if there was 20 numbers and you had to pick 6 winners, it'd still be really...
unlikely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You should be a mathematician. And anyway, so we got talking about it. We got talking, that was me, him and Jane around there. And I told Jane that he said about, oh, if you won the lottery, no, if he doesn't like travel. And she went, why do you like travelling? And he went, well, I don't like planes. I'm really scared of planes and that. And she went, well, if you won the lottery, you could have a world cruise. And he went, no. She went, you don't fancy it? I went, no. He said, if you go on a world cruise, what do you do next year?
Oh, it's brilliant logic, Carl.
It's
but you know on the world cruise you don't actually see the whole world. I mean, you...
And if you did, it's not like saying, well, I don't want to see that twice. Do you know what I mean?
The world.
It is the world. It's a lot. It's a lot to see. And
did it never dawn on you before about the numbers in the lottery? Have you been playing this for years and thinking that you had a good chance, and it was just like you and a handful of other people that were doing it?
Just as much chance as everyone else, but then when you actually sit down and think about what you're doing.
He's done it again this week. He went off doing it one more time, and he showed me the numbers, and he went, they look a bit more healthy, don't they?
What numbers are you going for this week?
It's alright laughing, but we'll see tonight.
Yeah.
Go on then.
So look.
You know, people, if people do this and they win, if you take these out and people do these, you'll have to share it with someone. It's alright though, isn't it? Give them a chance. Tell them what, give people a clue. What numbers are you doing, Carl?
No, I'm not going to tell them all. I'll give you 4. I've got 5, 9, 12 and 26.
Okay.
You're not going to give us the other 2?
No. Because that's a big difference, isn't it?
What are the...
4's worth about 8 grand in it, but if I give them the other 2 and it wins.
Yeah. What are those 4 numbers again?
5, 9, 12, 26.
Also, coming up is Carl's GCSE results. He took them in 1988, I think.
Was it?
And we've phoned his score, we've tracked him down. We've got Carl's GCSE, what did I say?
How many did you get, Rick?
Clinic, walking with these, sorry about that earlier. You know, I like to keep a tight, slick ship, and that lets us all down, doesn't it? When something goes wrong with the shoddy equipment in this place. Why don't you buy some new stuff? You must be earning a bit of money now, mustn't you? We got a few listeners now, we get adverts, don't we? Why don't they just buy a new CD player? You can go down to Richer Sounds and get one for 50 quid.
Yeah. I don't know. I suppose when you're starting off, you save the money you make first before you spend it.
Go down to Record and Tape Exchange, take all the 4 non-blondes and excess stuff you've got.
Out of the record library.
You'll be able to get an old CD player.
25 minutes this week it took.
Before non-blondes, as you mentioned.
I think we should make that some sort of call-in to win feature.
Carl, are we using the equipment that you used to use when you had Pilkey's Making Music, the DJ outfit that you
love that. That was Karl Pilkington and someone making, what was it?
Colin Makin.
Colin Makin. Pilkey's Making Music.
Genius. Are we using that same equipment?
Did you earn any money?
I paid for the tube lights and that. I sort of covered my costs.
Did you? Did you pay tax on that?
And then, no. Oh, that's what they get Al Capone on, isn't it?
It is, yeah. That's right. Don't worry about the music policy. We're sorting that out. We've got some Verve coming up. We got some Jimmy Webb. We got some Nick Cave. We got some Amy Mann. We got some Travis Corner Shop. You know what I mean? We're sorting ourselves out. We haven't started yet. We're just starting, getting going. We got Carl's GCSE result.
Let's just do it now.
Should we do it now?
Well, I think we should have a White Van Man session.
Oh, White Van Man.
I think people tune in for the White Van Man session.
Yeah, people who haven't tuned in, they don't know.
If people aren't familiar with this, The Sun runs a column every day which is asking some punter from the street their views on the week's big events, and we just thought, why not hijack that idea, but apply it to Karl Pilkington. Carl?
I haven't seen much news again this week.
You've not seen much news? Don't worry, I'm sure you have an opinion on it.
Just give us it from your heart.
So, Gladiator.
Okay, so, well, on the subject of Gladiator, what do you make of Russell Crowe's appalling behaviour at the BAFTAs?
This is, I heard a bit about this. This is, when he got some director or something, because...
Electoral producer and threatened him, because they cut his bit, didn't they?
Yeah, they cut a poem that he'd done during the acceptance speech.
I watched it on Sunday night. Sure. I didn't realise it wasn't live, to be honest.
Yeah.
But, I quite liked the way it was to the point and didn't mess about. He went up, he said thanks.
So you're saying that he shouldn't have beaten up the director? Is that what you're basically saying?
It's a bit over the top.
You thought
I mean, if you didn't have time, if you really, I mean, what's the poem got to do with the film anyway? He was an awards.
So do you think it's ever justified to beat up a TV director if you're a major Hollywood star?
Depends what he's done, but I mean...
Right, what would you have to have done, Carl, for it to be fine for him to then beat him up?
The thing is, right, forget all the beating up. At the end of the day, it was a awards thing for a film. The poem had nothing to do with the film.
Yeah.
So go up, collect your award for that thing. And if you really, really wanted people to hear about this poem, he could have photocopied it and left it at the entrance and said, on your way out, this is a really nice poem, pick one up.
No, but the thing is, he knew it was televised, so he knew by saying that poem once, he was reaching 5 million people. That's a lot of photocopies. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not saying it was justified.
It wasn't a poem award. If it was an award show for poems, you'd say you can't cut it out. It'd be like doing the top 40 and then going, #1's good, but we haven't got time for it. But it's a films thing.
Okay.
And he went up and he got the award for the film. Which film was it for?
I don't know. But when I wanted to give you results, I say, let's give Carl his results. Steve went, no, we should introduce people to Carl again, just remind people what Carl's like. And he's so right. I'm so glad we did this first.
Am I right, though? Or am I
Carry on,
wrong?
Steve.
Okay, the next topic. What about this big debate over whether Kylie Minogue's had a bum job?
I'd have to see it.
Next.
Okay. What do you make of Will Young's single? He's the Pop Idol winner. It's going to net record-breaking sales, apparently. It's going to go straight to number 1. He's had millions of copies sold.
I heard last week that you had to, if you wanted to buy it from Woolworths, you had to go in and put £1 down to guarantee getting a copy.
Wow.
I think that's stupid.
But what do you make of it, though? Do you think...
What, as a song?
both as a song, and are you excited about Will Young and his future?
No, he'll do alright. I don't think we have to worry about him.
Okay.
He'll do alright. It's not my thing, but seems like a nice bloke.
Okay, very good. What do you make? Yeah, one final one then. What do you make of our scientists getting the go-ahead to clone embryos for research? We have discussed cloning before, and obviously there's the pros and cons of that. Christopher Reeve, former Superman star, he's behind this. Are you behind him?
Yeah. I mean, with everything, you have your good and your bad, don't you?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you didn't have bad things in the world, then you wouldn't enjoy the good things. I think, it's like if you didn't have robbers in the world, policemen wouldn't have a job. So it's the same thing. It's like, it's an illness. Yeah. So what are they messing with?
It's probably a bit too detailed to go into there, really, but,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's good and bad. You can't have it all.
Yin and yang is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, Carl, I can't argue with that, mate.
I want to play a track now that I haven't heard for a while. It's the Verve, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sonnet. Lovely song. Here's a new tune from a new fella called Papa Garcia. See what you think of this.
You see, if he was on MTV, I couldn't say his name.
Why?
What is it again?
Papa Garcia.
Right, here's a new one from Papa Garcia.
Brilliant. Papa Garcia. Natalie and Nusi from the forthcoming album Bring Me the Head of Papa Garcia. Catchy that. Quite retro. It's a bit of Elton John and
All sorts thrown in,
yeah, lovely. Right, here we go. Quick clues again, and then we better do Educating Ricky.
Well, this is the favourite bit of the show for me now, Educating Ricky.
I love it.
I can't, well, yeah, I'm anxious all week.
Well, just quickly on those clues, just in case people need to know again. Stop throwing that fruit about, CB. That Scottish fella's made a bit of an error. M. And, God, you can make loads of toast with M. That's, G.
Alright, brilliant. Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. It's email only.
Oh, I need some learning. I need some knowledge, Carl. Educate me.
I might be able to help you.
Go on.
We've got 3 things, as always. I give them a little heading to tease you as to which one you want to learn first.
Yeah.
First one is the tip included?
Is the tip included? Like it.
Second one, I want to come here in hindsight. Right.
I wouldn't have come here in hindsight?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the third one, am I gonna have to thump you?
Am I gonna have to thump you? Okay, and you've trawled, the internet?
So if I can get into the mindset of this plan, is the tip included? Well, obviously, that's probably not going to be about a weight. It's going to be if that's someone losing the end of his knob, I assume. Am I going to have to thump you? That's a man who lost his arm in a fight, but then picked it up with the other arm and smacked him with it. What was the middle one?
I want to come here in hindsight.
Hindsight.
Hindsight?
Yeah, if someone was blinded by baked beans.
Sure.
So what are you going for then?
I think I better go for, am I gonna have to thump you?
Right, well this isn't... I've been struggling again, to be honest with you. Searching high and low for stuff, and some of these I had to leave till this morning. So
Right, because there's just not enough knowledge out in the world, is
Not
there,
much is
that you
going
don't
on.
know about?
I found out about something in the week about a guy who, was playing tug-of-war.
This is bonus material,
He was
isn't it?
playing tug-of-war.
His arm came off.
Only his arm come off.
Yeah, he got caught up in the rope, yeah.
No, he didn't. He didn't get caught up in the rope, he just was trying that hard and didn't want to lose. He kept holding
He
it.
allowed his arm to be pulled off.
He really wanted to win. And
Well,
the other
no.
team, the other team pulled it and his arm come off.
No.
Well,
I don't know who to believe.
Well, think about it. If he's gripping,
yeah.
as soon as there's tension, like the arm coming out of the socket, the hand might release. I think his arm got caught up in the rope. And so it was involuntary, as opposed to him going, well, my arm's coming off, but I'm not going to lose this! You might be
Anyway,
right.
that's the fact.
That's
you're
a
not gonna tell
bonus.
us.
That's a bonus fact.
Yeah, well,
That's educated me.
well,
A man lost his arm. Oh, interesting. Go on.
am I gonna have to thump you?
Yeah.
Do you know the saying, shut your face?
Yeah, I've heard the well-known Shakespeare, innit?
Do you know how it came about?
No, Joe Dolce.
No,
Go on.
It's, ages ago.
Oh yeah, literally, literally.
Like, knights who wore armour.
Okay.
That's, armour gonna have to thump you, that's how it came about.
Okay, armour.
They wore all the stuff, and they had the helmet, and say if they're guarding something at night, stood outside a castle or something,
Yeah.
and there's probably going to be two of them, right? So they stood there talking and that, and talking about stuff, and
The future.
Sort of, yeah, medieval stuff.
one of them's like, oh, I wish you'd shut up, you know, I've been stood here for hours, and he's going on and on.
Yeah, sure.
So he'd say, shut your face, meaning, shut the guard down on your helmet,
The visor.
and I can't hear you then.
Uh-huh.
So shut your face.
Shut your face.
And that's how it came about.
Well, I suppose that's...
It would be interesting if I could just rely on it. As
I'm not sure it's true.
I
yeah.
know. I just never know. I can.
It needs to be corroborated.
It's like I don't know where he got it from, but anything via Carl is precarious.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe you should give us your sources next time. You know, tell us where
I know,
you got
I'll
this
tell you.
information from.
Got it off the internet.
Yeah, but where on the internet?
I can't remember where that one was. I mean, I always go through like the news pages and stuff, and I
This news should be updated because they've only reached the 17th century, which was last week with people eating tomatoes off lead
but then
plates.
I look at news and there was stuff about a woman who was in a shop and she, I don't know, they had some workmen in doing the shop up, and they had some wood glue left out, and she asked for some pear juice, and then the guy went and thought the glue in the thing was the pear juice, and she went and drank that. But that's not really news.
No.
So I thought, well, we're not
Not really
having
anything.
that.
I wish you hadn't told us.
There was one about...
So there's some poor woman now whose tiles have fallen off because she tried to put them up with pear juice.
Yeah.
See, that's the danger of mixing up pear juice with toxic glue.
Yeah.
Your wallpaper and your tiles and everything just fall down.
There's
Be
also...
careful, everyone.
Be careful.
There's something about kids having hamburgers, it makes them fat.
Hold on. What? Having food with high fat content can make you put on weight?
Yeah.
Don't believe it. You're an idiot. What's the
So-
next one?
Well,
No, let's play a tune, let's play a tune.
you've
We'll
still
come
got
back.
to come, you've still got I Want to Come Here in Hindsight, and you've still got Is a Tip Included, but we've got a bit of,
Well, I think we haven't played anything for a while, have we, in terms of the hip-hop hooray
No,
feature
no.
that I used to be so popular for. So I thought we'd just resurrect that for 1 week only.
Pete didn't pick up on that one,
They
did
didn't,
they?
they didn't, did they? Let me just remind you, Hip Hop Hooray was where I played a hip-hop track.
And then I said hooray, or...
Yeah, no, well, no, I think
No, I
didn't even have that.
Brilliant.
That's a great thing, though. We could add that in, we could phase that in. Maybe at the end of the song you could...
Hooray.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Okay.
I'll check it.
Featuring Puff Daddy and Little Kim, that's Notorious B.I.G.
Brilliant.
and Notorious.
Great, lovely. Carl just, said to me, yeah, here's something. You can't hold your breath to death.
Have you tried it, Carl?
it's just another little lesson.
There's someone here who's in a really low ebb. They've been listening to the show, they would commit suicide. They just start holding their breath and thinking, oh, it's brilliant.
Well, what did you learn in the week, right? I'm always doing all the educating. I asked you were talking about watching a programme about jellyfish.
Yeah.
And I said, well, that'll be interesting. I'll try and find some stuff out, but I couldn't find anything that I didn't already know about them.
It must be difficult for you to find anything you don't already know.
So what did you learn about jellyfish?
I agreed with you by the end of it, that they should be wiped off the face of the earth because they're balls of water in membrane, right, that go around stinging people to death.
Yeah.
Let's lose them, Carl. Let's lose the jellyfish. Yeah?
That's what I think. Because I was stung by one. You know?
Oh, you got stung by one?
Yeah, I was on holiday and got stung by one.
Yeah.
And I don't understand.
No,
don't understand them,
I'm not a fan of them.
so that's that.
Good. Well, that's sorted out the jellyfish conundrum. We've solved that particular worry.
Right then, so take your pick then.
I asked him if he could have any animal the other day. Did I ask him on air as well?
Don't know.
Off air, he said, I've got it down to 2. Right, and this was, he said, what favourite animal looking at, or could I own one? And I went, you could own one. And he went, right, but could I own one, or would I have trouble? I went, Carl, you've got all the expertise, you can just have it in whatever it needs, and you go down there, he went, right, and I won't regret it and get fed up. I said, no, Carl, just what animal, if you could have any animal, what animal would you have? He went, I've got it down to 2. I went, what is it? He said, either the rhino or the hippo.
What's your logic?
Well, I don't know. That was then. I mean, ask me tomorrow, and I might have 2 other favourites. Do you know what I mean? When was that?
A couple of weeks ago. When was that? Well, you were there.
Yeah, but you know.
What are they today? Quickly now. First animal that comes into your head.
now. Any animal I want.
You can have any animal in the world.
Right.
From one that's maybe extinct. Anything you want.
Right. I might have. Just for today.
Just for today.
I might have a scorpion in a little box.
A little scorpion in a box. What's your thinking?
It's the chimp every time. It's the chimpanzee or the gorilla.
No. But have I told you that programme about the scorpion? How they all help each other out.
Right. Scorpions all help each other out.
No, this is brilliant. Right. Somewhere in the desert.
Okay.
There's these little.
In the desert.
It's like these little monkeys that are underground or something. And there's holes.
Is this Beneath the Planet of the Apes? The 4th in the series.
Are they talking apes?
Oh, forget it, actually.
No, and you've got it wrong anyway. They're not monkeys. There's little monkeys under the ground.
What are they doing then? They're toiling into underground mines.
They're lizards, if you remember, and the lizard goes to sleep, and the bloke comes along. You've told this, and
we've done it. All right.
Monkey from monkey. That's what happens in his mind. From lizard to monkey. Oh, evolution would have been so much easier if Carl was around. Turn it into a monkey. I'm fed up with the lizard.
Just promise me once again, Carl. I've asked you before. Promise me you'll never have children.
Why specifically an ashtray?
Just because they sort of old cold.
They're old cold.
I don't know what this is. I love this idea that he had the operation and he comes round and they're talking to him and his girlfriend gets a phone call and they say, Mr. Pilkington's maybe complications. He's just talking rubbish. Yeah. She goes, oh, good.
Yeah, he's back to his old self. What is it? Why specifically an ashtray? Sorry, because it's old cold. I understand it's old cold.
Yeah, we understand. Everyone who's done a medical degree understands old cold, but old cold belly madness. If you want to buy that book, Old Cold Belly Madness, it's the history of abdominal surgery by Karl Pilkington.
No, it just. You know,
but you put it in the freezer or something first?
You can do if you want, but they're normally cold anyway. Sort of thick glass and that it holds the cold. But we don't smoke in our house, so I had to use a plate.
Oh, well, that's madness. A plate's not going to work. Famously, a plate doesn't work.
Oh, God, no! Oh, God.
So you put a plate on your belly, but that didn't do any...
No,
that didn't work. So, called Suzanne and said, oh, I'm in agony here. She said, go to the doctors then.
Good advice.
So
a lot of people have done that straight away, as opposed to going through the plate ashtray.
So he went to hospital one day. He went to hospital and he said, "Have you got an ashtray?"
They went to dispensary an ashtray.
This is no smoking.
What is the closest thing, sort of living? That's nothing.
I don't know what you mean.
What?
What's like the closest? Like, do you know at some point something's gone from nothing to something, hasn't it?
No, I don't know. I don't understand what you mean.
Do you mean what is the first and lowest and most primitive and most simple form of life?
No,
he's right here in this room, Rick.
say like when you look at a stick insect,
right?
You go, right, there's a slight crossover there from a stick to a living thing.
No, it's not.
It didn't used to be a stick.
No, it's not. There's no biological relationship between it and a stick.
But there isn't much difference between the two, is what I mean.
Of course there is.
It's a huge
difference. They just sit there looking like a stick. That's their skill.
Yes, but there's nothing to do with being a stick. It's like camouflage. That's like saying when a soldier puts on combat gear, you're saying he's a cross between a human and a shrub.
What I'm saying is, have you seen them weird things that just look like... They sort of look like a leaf?
Yeah, they're insects that have evolved to look like a leaf.
At some point, something has had it away with a leaf.
No! What? At no point has something had it away with a leaf.
No, to make it look that much like a leaf.
At no point did a beetle shag a leaf. It's superficial. It's the way it looks. That's all it... That's like saying chameleons must have mated with green once. They are green.
No, but
it looks like a leaf.
But then how does it meet? How does it have relationships? It will be going around sort of having it away with a leaf.
No, it won't, because it doesn't know what it looks like. It doesn't matter. It's not like a stick insect will be talking to a stick for ages and go, oh, I've wasted my time here. This club's dead. Rude.
I was chatting to her, she was foxy, but she was giving me nothing.
But, Dave, that's not a stick insect, that's a stick.
What are you talking about?
That's a stick, you've been talking to a stick all night.
I can't believe it, I just thought she had a great slim figure.
No, it's actually a real stick.
Well, I've been watching birds more than insects recently.
Oh,
In
okay,
the
you've
last,
moved on from
in the
insects.
last week, just because I've sort of looked at the ant and the bee and that. And what I've found with pigeons is they've got wings, yet they walk a lot.
I'd love that to be a thesis where he got like a £500,000 grant from a university, and I said, well, Pilkington seems to, he's done ants and he's done bees, he's followed ants. Apparently they're not doing anything, some of them are lazy. We are granting him another £500,000. He's been working on it for a year. Please welcome Karl Pilkington.
Carl, what have you found?
Well, even though pigeons have wings, they walk a lot.
Well, I heard, and you told me this, so I know it's true.
What?
Do you know when I talked about replacing blood with coconut, what was it?
Well, one, it said coconut milk can be used as plasma, but I haven't had that verified because it's off one of those websites where there are spurious facts.
But what do you think of that, Steve? I mean, I've sort of touched on it.
But I've just got to echo what Ricky said. I can't have an opinion unless it's been verified.
But why aren't you just being open-minded enough to go, well...
Well, no,
But
that's
it's
not
not
being
question being
open-minded. Open-minded isn't believing everything you hear. You don't believe everything you read, do you?
a lot of stuff you kind of go, well, that's interesting to...
But what, we talked about this, what about Noah's Ark?
What about it?
Well, you know, you said you believed it because it's in book form, but according to that, didn't he get 2 of every species on a big boat? But we know that's impossible, don't we?
Depends where he was. If he was above a zoo, there would have been a lot of different stuff knocking about. That's my only problem. What I'm saying is, where was he floating where he could get an elephant, a giraffe, a cat, a dog, a gerbil? Where were all these things floating about?
Well, exactly.
Right,
That's
these
my
Old
only
Testament
downfall.
zoos, they were quite...
Yeah,
quite
but
big,
exactly.
weren't they?
But you're right. You're questioning it. How is it possible?
But I've just said, a zoo.
There's no zoo that has got 1% of all animal species.
Well, I don't know where he got them from then.
There's a couple of million species of animal. And how did he round these animals up?
Because they were drowning, so they were looking for any boat.
So they were actively seeking out an ark.
Well, they would have just been looking for anything to get hold of.
Yeah, and where did he keep them all? How did he keep them all separate? How did he...
At that point...
Oh no, the lions ate the otter.
No, because at that point, it's that thing, innit, of how you all pull together in a bad situation.
Talk shit.
You all chip in, they're all like, oh god, you know, let's be nice to our neighbours.
Right. So there's spiders talking to flies and...
Well, they would have just gone elsewhere, wouldn't they? They would
What do you
have been
mean?
on another bit of the boat. The spiders don't have to knock about the lions just because they're all in it together. They get their own little area, don't they?
Well, I don't know. How big is this boat?
It's big, it's a big boat. How long, what was the warning he got from God to make it?
I don't know.
It's a couple of weeks.
Yeah. 2 of every species, Carl. How big would this boat have to be?
Yeah, it's big.
You can't just keep saying it's big, because I know in your mind, you're imagining this ark, there's a boat with Noah up the front with his wife, 2 giraffes behind him, then next there, 2 elephants, and it just, and it's just like elephant, giraffe, hippo, dog, cat, weasel, couple of frogs, and a spider talking to a fly going, let's get on, but when we're off here, you're dead.
But what would you have done then? Are you saying that you wouldn't get on there because it's too noisy?
It's not a question of what
it didn't
you've done.
happen. It didn't happen.
To be honest, I'm not bothered. And they got through it, didn't they? They got through it. They're here now. We're not short of them. If anything, like I said, he didn't do us a favour because he saved too much. You can't move out there for stuff.
That's the jingle for excerpts from Carl's diary. This is all legitimate stuff. Ricky and I have had no input in this. This is the first time we get to read it. Went and did some shopping for stuff as it was my turn. Suzanne moaned a bit because I forgot orange juice and bought some cheap toilet paper.
She always buys the expensive toilet paper. I don't know why they make toilet paper with pretty patterns on it.
That made it into the diary.
Up and out at 9 o'clock to go to the Cotswolds. Now, I think this was a gift for your girlfriend, wasn't it, for her birthday?
it was a
You went to the
birthday and
Cotswolds,
that, so I just went for one night.
Got the car and headed off. We found the B&B, but they wouldn't let us in the room because we were early. We went for a walk. There was not much around the B&B, so we had a quick walk around the car park. And went back in. Happy birthday. The room's now ready. It's an alright room. 3 biscuits, so I ate them straight away. Like a child.
Like a dog! He runs in, jumps on the bed.
No, get off the bed, not on the furniture. The room overlooked the car park that we'd already been round. You're staring at that window. Remember when we went there?
We'll always have the car park.
Yeah. Oh, God. The room had posh coat hangers in the wardrobe with sponge on them.
So I ate the sponge.
Don't think they are needed. We went and booked a table for Sunday dinner. I had beef. It was nice enough, but there was a family of 13 behind us. I don't see the point in going out in large numbers. They annoyed me. One of the family asked for sorbet before his next course. He was only about 11. He thought he was it. I said to Suzanne, I've had enough, and needed a kip. Watched Planet Earth on BBC One. They filmed a panda for 4 weeks, and all it did was sit in its cave. It did nout. If I was Fiat, I wouldn't name one of my cars after them, as it suggests it won't work or go very far. It'd be like bringing out a Ford Sloth. No one would buy it.
Sloth. I would love that ad campaign. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, God. The new Vauxhall Slug.
We had a look around the local village. There wasn't much to it. We did the usual thing and had a look around the church graveyard to see how old the dead people are.
Suzanne's had it over time so far. She's gone to the Cotswolds, the room wasn't ready, she's seen the car park, and now let's go and play how old the dead people are.
I like the fact that you mentioned we did the usual thing of having a look round the church graveyard. Do you make her do that every time you go away?
I like the fact. I want to know what she did for 2 hours when you slept. She just looked out at the car park, just like, memories.
But that's what you do, though, isn't it? When you go to these places, there's nothing else unless you want fudge, or you know, you walk around the church graveyard and have a look. It's nothing.
We went home. It took 3 hours to drive back. People say they go to the country to see the wildlife. I saw rabbits, pheasants, and a fox on the way home. They were all dead in the road.
Okay, now, just moving quickly on, just the last item on Carl's re-education this week. Rasputin, you've read a little book about Rasputin?
What did you know about Rasputin before you read the book, Carl?
Could I just tell you, when I handed him this book, it was my house, so he went, is he the one that lived under the bridge? And I went, what do you mean? He went, the fella that lived under the bridge, and you had to pass him with a, and Jane, went, you're thinking of, Rapunzel. And he went, yeah, and I went, well, that's not Rapunzel either. Rapunzel's, you had to say, isn't that, you know, you had to guess his name.
The person who lived under the bridge was a troll in the 3 little book graph.
I'm a troll, foldy well. So, to answer your question, Steve, that's what he knew about Rasputin. Okay?
So have you read this whole book? Can I just have a look at it, Rick?
This whole book, it's about the size of a beer mat.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, but did you read the whole thing?
No.
You didn't manage to read the whole thing?
You didn't even do that.
Well, again, some of the names in there are so long and foreign sounding that I just thought, I can't remember all these. So I just got to the meat of the story.
Go on,
what did you learn about Rasputin?
Right, he was a monk.
Yep.
And,
mad? Was he a madman?
Hang on a minute.
Don't confuse him.
Sorry.
Right.
Go on.
God. You see, this is what happened in the exams. Right, it was.
Oh, don't do that when I'm drinking, Carl. Please, mate.
He loved his women. And that's how the story started off. He had really nice.
Story started off. Yeah.
He had really nice eyes, and that's what everyone fell for, especially the women.
Yeah.
Anyway, the people back then thought he had special powers because he could hypnotise people or something.
Oh yeah.
And it was about a little lad who had some sort of blood clot on his leg, and he said, "Just calm down, and you'll be all right." And people thought he had special powers, but what he was doing, he was saying, "Calm down," and he relaxed, and it stopped the blood flowing sort of as fast, and that's how he got better. But anyway, that's the only bit of special work that he did. And then he kept going on, and he was going in brothels and all that, and the people in the town thought, "This isn't right. He shouldn't be going about doing this." And
where does he live?
Russia.
Right.
Is that right?
Yep.
What sort of era?
I thought you'd might know,
Now about 1800.
All right. Okay.
And then
Do you want to check that, Steve? You got the book?
people
Well, I
got
know
sick
for a
of
fact that's
him.
not right.
People got sick of him, and they said, "Oh, we'll have to get rid of him." So they tried to. He loved cakes as well as women.
Okay.
So they said, "Let's poison a cake," and they poisoned a load of
Easier than
cakes.
poisoning a woman, wouldn't it?
And he ate these cakes, and it just didn't kill him. And they were like, "God, what's going on?" And they kept giving him more and more cakes, and
He was suspicious.
and that didn't work. So the fella said, "That's it. I'm going to shoot him." So.
Well, I imagine it was the end of his tether.
So-
I mean, he was back and forth to Mr. Kipling's, you know, like,
He
go on.
shot him once, and that didn't work, and the fella thought, "Oh my God," and he started running away, and Rasputin's running after him, and he shoots him like another, I think he took four
Face
bullets.
full of Battenberg.
Four bullets he
Who's
took.
to swear then?
4 bullets it took to kill him, and then this fella who was after him chucked him in an icy lake, and that was the end of him. But I don't understand, sort of,
What don't you understand, Carl?
well, the fact that, you know, he's a bit of a name in history, and I don't understand why, because it just sounds a bit like my brother.
Does he love women and cakes? And do you think that'll be his downfall?
Right, I want you to study. Right, if you want to do, that's the first introduction. Right, if you want to do some extracurricular,
What would that get
stuff,
me?
there's a song by Boney M that lays it out.
Suzanne told me about that, saying about Russia's greatest love machine.
Yeah.
But it didn't say anything about cakes.
No,
I think if you get the 12-inch mix,
no, but they say according to Boney M, and I don't know who's correct, the bloke who wrote that or M. They put some poison into his wine. Now I don't know if M have done their research or whether they did shoot him until he was dead. According to them, he was the greatest love machine in Russia. I don't think it says that in the book, but M might know more than that fella.
So what's your final verdict on Rasputin?
Just a normal bloke who didn't have that much luck, really. That's what I don't understand. I was waiting for something special at the end, but just a normal fellow, really.
Yeah, just an everyday, happens all the time, doesn't it?
Just an everyday mad monk.
Yeah, just an everyday mad monk you have to shoot and poison and throw in icy lakes to kill him, and who loves women and cakes. I mean, come on, do we need another one of them?
Boring.
So what would you say about him then? How would you sum him up?
I think you've done it.
I think you've done it.
There you go.
So next week, Che Guevara, you going to read the book?
I don't know.
Come on.
Next week, Che Guevara, take it home. There he is.
Give it a then.
Right, with your looks. The Sugar Babes are freaks electric. Are they, Carl?
Don't know. I feel like feels like Christmas Day.
What, you didn't get the gift you wanted?
Yeah, do you know that like anticlimax?
Yeah.
When
You've been looking forward to it for so long.
yeah, you know,
Well, I mean, I knew you were looking forward to it. That's why it took you 14 years to get the result, and then it was 2 other people that got them for you.
Do you wish that we hadn't done it?
no, it's all right.
It's alright, isn't it?
What's your girlfriend going to say?
I don't think I'll see her again.
She likes a man who knows about the Tudors and Stuarts, does she?
Yeah, first Gladiator, then the...
Yeah, you've been bluffing. Whenever she said, "Where's it go to Stuarts?" You go, "Good." Like, lots of things, but look, it's a bird.
What happened to Henry VIII's last wife? Oh,
Oh, wouldn't. Oh, yeah. Oh, look, Friends is on telly.
it's on.
Can I just change the subject by saying things like, you know, about the only king in a pack of cards?
That threw off the scent.
That threw us off the scent.
That wouldn't fool an invigilator, would it? That's the thing. You can't use that one with an exam board.
Carl, have you ever logged on to Friends Reunited? It was the site that everyone was talking about last year.
No.
Are you aware of the concept?
I've heard about it, but there's no one from school who'd want to see
Hook
it
up with.
again, really.
So basically, for those that don't know, you have to log onto his website, and then you can it helps you track down your old schoolmates if they've also logged on and stuff. And we sort of took the liberty, really, of looking on the Friends Reunited site and typing in your school and trying to track down any of your old mates. We didn't get in touch with any of them, don't worry.
We didn't do that, and
We're not going to surprise you with them now.
No.
But I was just interested to know, like, some of your thoughts on some of the names that I could run past you. I mean, these are people from your year. Just tell me if you recognise the names. Alison Birch?
Think I remember her.
What's your thoughts on her?
Don't
be libelous.
Don't be like, no.
No. Posh, probably did pretty well in history and that.
Sarah Morris?
God, yeah. Remember her.
Go on. You're grinning. What's the thought? Go on.
No, just, she was alright. She was a popular one.
What does that mean?
She was nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, what about, Darren Buckley?
He was one of my best mates.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
What do you reckon he's doing now? Do you still keep in touch?
When my mum and dad were still in Manchester and they had a butty shop, he used to go in because the bookies was next door.
I know the way you paint a picture. If you did this in your history exam, Carl, you will walk it.
Go on. So your parents had a butty shop, there was a bookies next door?
Yeah, and he liked having a bit of a gamble, so he used to, I think he worked for some insurance company.
Do you think that his fiancée Beth knows he's got a gambling problem?
Yeah.
Or that his 2-year-old son Lewis?
No!
Yeah, they live in Cheadle Home.
Hume.
Cheadle Hume.
He must be doing well.
He's still supporting the Blue Army and frequents the shrine on a fortnightly basis.
Funny thing with him is, right, when I used to stay over at his house, and his dad was a copper, and I remember his dad came down and said, right, I want to see you two. I thought, oh God, what's happened? And got us round the table. And he said, do you know much about drugs? So we were like, what's all this about? So he goes, you know, they're not good for anyone, you know, the stupid thing to get into. And we're like, yeah, we know. And he went, you know, do you? We said, yeah. He said, what's this then? And he'd found something in his bedroom, and it was a Skittle.
What, the sweet?
You know, little sweets with the S on it. And
Oh, really?
Drugs.
Yeah.
So he said, well, yeah, it's a Skittle. Yeah, I know what it is.
Oh, he was bluffing like that as a slang word.
Yeah, he thought, because he was a copper, he probably had to be down with all the terms and that. So we said, oh, it's a Skittle. And he said, yeah, I know what it is, but what's it doing in your bedroom?
Oh.
And it was like, no, it's a toffee. So, Darren,
Yeah, I know, it's a toffee, it's a squib, it's a, yeah. Steve, am I mental, or have we been playing some great tunes
We've
today?
been playing some great tunes. You're not mental. You're a genius.
Yeah. Our next FM wonderful with American Gervais would be Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Karl Pilkington in the chair now. The talked about, the acclaimed Educating Ricky.
Right, well, just in case anyone's new, doesn't normally listen, basically, I'm educating Ricky. Do a bit of research in a week, find stuff, news, history, anything that's interesting. 3 stories, I give them a nice little headline. You take your pick. Between now and 3, you're going to learn 3 things. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, the headlines are, I'll be no buying one of them.
Give us that again.
I'll be no buying one of them.
Nice, okay.
Yeah. We've also got hippopotamus.
Okay. Okay.
And can you believe it?
Can you believe it?
Well, I'm going to go with hippopotamus.
Hippopotamus?
News.
Right, well this one, it's, I'm not going to take the credit here. I heard Christian talking about this on breakfast, right, because it's a good story that happened. Basically, I don't have to tell you about it last week when we were having our spaghetti, but,
I think you did.
Right,
I know what it is. I know what this is.
Okay, I've not heard this.
right, there's a little midget. Right, there's a circus,
I'm loving it already.
circus going on somewhere. I think it was in America. And
Is that present day or old times?
I'm talking like in the last 3 weeks.
Okay.
Right, little midget, circus, really packed out show. People are loving it.
Steve, you asked the same question I did. I know.
So there's a little midget jumping up and down on a trampoline.
What's
Right.
I'd take good money to see it.
So everyone's clapping, and he's getting carried away.
Because he can't believe they're loving it. I didn't know they'd like a little person on a trampoline, but they love me.
But you know what it's like when, if there's a crowd of people sort of encouraging you to sort of go higher and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he knew it was getting out of hand. But he was jumping and he was coming down the road going higher, and he's going really high in the air, right? So he's doing this, crowd are clapping. There's a hippo, right, just sat next to the trampoline, getting ready to come on and do his act.
Oh, right, I thought he was in the audience.
That's it, getting ready to do his act, Steve.
So
He's a ventriloquist.
What do you mean he's sitting by the trampoline waiting to do his act?
Because he's
why does he sit in the dressing room and they go, 5 minutes, Mr. Muss, 5 minutes, Mr. Muss.
So anyway, right, so the hippo's there,
He's getting annoyed, is he? Because the midget's
He's
eating
going,
into
how
his
can I
tongue.
follow this? How can I, this is really annoying. They're going to be, no.
so
He's thinking, he's already done the trampoline, my pogo stick act is never going to work.
Yeah, go on, so there's a hippo waiting. See, it's a great story and I just know he embellishes it or he gets slightly wrong. Go on.
So
there's a midget jumping up and down, the hippo's getting annoyed.
The crowd are going mad, the midget's loving it, can't believe his luck. Although you think, he probably knows he's dicing with danger.
Yeah. So, next thing you know, they're all saying higher, higher. He gives it one big, like, heavy sort of landing on the trampoline, goes really high, but goes off at a funny angle.
Oh.
Hypotenuse.
Okay.
Yeah. And sort of flies out.
Hypotenuse!
Sure.
Flies off at a funny angle.
Ooh, dear.
Hippo's there, swallows him whole. Crowd are clapping, thinking that's why the hippo was waiting there.
Rubbish. Rubbish.
It's not rubbish though.
But no, maybe there was an accident in a circus with a midget and a hippo, but at no point was this hippo waiting to go on, going, come on. The midget flew off at a hypotenuse and landed in the hippo's mouth and was swallowed whole. This is what you embellish it. That is great. And what's
I
that?
have to say though, Rick, when I heard midget, trampoline, hippopotamus, I was thinking accident waiting to happen.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
maybe? I mean...
It is that you should never put those three together.
Never.
It's a recipe for disaster. Everyone knows that. Midget, trampoline, hippopotamus. Are you mental?
You're asking for trouble.
Well,
You know, when he told me it, he said, and the midget, he didn't mention the hippopotamus, and he said the midget went alright, and soon he fell off, and the hippo ate him. And I said, sorry, what was the hippo doing there? He went, it's a circus.
I've never heard of a circus having a hippo.
What do hippos do?
What can they do? You can't train them, can you?
What do you...
Aren't they, like, very deadly? They're huge, aren't they?
You can't have a hippo in a circus.
are you sure?
You're not thinking of Zippo?
He's neither clown.
Yeah. It wasn't some sort of where Zippo was eating a midget and it's some sort of horrible sexual act.
No, it was definitely. I heard it on breakfast, right?
Oh, okay, sorry.
No, it's definitely fact.
Yeah,
It's
okay,
definitely
right,
true.
okay, good. Well, let's play a record then.
So,
I'd like to play a classic Springsteen. We're all fans of Springsteen there. This might be his debut album, I'm not sure. Greetings from Raspberry Park.
I think it is, yeah.
New Jersey. And this is Growing Up. It's great, it's classic.
Right.